Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tuesday's Talk with Grada. And today I want to give you 6 stepping stones to help you create more success in your life. But this is not going to be a motivational video that's going to make you feel more pressured. My motivation for today is to help you feel less overwhelmed in your life and start to live the life that you deserve, right? So it's also going to help you to access deeper levels of self-love, because I'm about teaching you how to love yourself more, right? And then of course for me, I practice what I preach. So over the years I've really I've had to let go of many deep layers of like self-loathing, self-hatred, and in the end from deprogramming from my childhood. I've written books about it. You can read those on get those online. And so my motivation is always to make you aware how you can love yourself more and how that flows into your life so that you can have a better life. And sometimes it's actually easier to do than you think it is, right? So when you feel less overwhelmed, your nervous system relaxes. And then when your nervous system is relaxed, you tend to drop into a more natural state of being. And I want you to know that your natural state of being is actually a state of love. This is how we come into the world, as beings of light, little containers, little pockets, little bags of love, of divine love. And then pressure builds up and we lose that connection to our own light, and we get reprogrammed and so on. And so today I'm going to help you create more success in different parts of your life. So step 1, this is probably the hardest one, to be honest. Step 1 is to know what you want, right? And many of us don't know what we want, actually, because we've been set up to lead a mediocre life, so it's not too happy, like lukewarm, not hot, not cold, not extreme, if we start to show too much enthusiasm or too much talent. In Australia very much is this tall poppy syndrome. You have to pull your head in and pull your horns in and all the rest. It's just not safe to go there. But I want you to know that you're so worth it. So after the video today, you can read the little post where I've written down the 6 steps, and just take a notepad and a pen and spend some time by yourself thinking about different areas of your life where you would love to see a change. And a change, of course, I mean have more success. So that could be your family. Is it to do with your family, money, your work, your health and fitness? Is it to do with achieving more inner peace? And of course, self-love is another one of your goals. Or is it to do with something like you want to travel more, experience different cultures, you want to get fitter, or you want to restore your memory? It doesn't matter, whatever it is, you go about it the same way. So, but first of all, you need to make the decision, right, that I'm going to choose success, or like more success in one area of my life. So that's the decision. And the next thing is to get organized. So apparently we can only pay attention to 7 different things at the same time. So if you think of your life, I'm sure you have way more than 7 things going on that take your attention. And we actually use the word I pay. Are you paying attention? You know, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. And we are actually saying paying. That gives you a clue that attention is energy, right? So you're paying for everything that you pay attention to with your own precious energy, which is actually more precious than money, by the way, because like when you run out of energy, there's nothing left. So we have to become very more careful with where our energy goes. So apparently, so there are 7 things that we can comfortably handle. So like I will tell you, some of those things could be that you have children, you have pets, You have your work, you have projects at work, you have your house to maintain, you have a garden, you have a spouse maybe, or friend or friendships, you have parents. Anyway, you can think of many. Actually, most people probably have an average of 30 or 40 things that they have to pay attention to every single day of their lives, and our nervous system can only handle 7 things. So this is where overwhelm comes in. Overwhelm simply means, let me just see it, I looked it up, being in a state of too many projects, and then you lose your focus. So you lose your faculties to decide what's important to you. Like, you end up not knowing what's important and what isn't important. So you're not the priority anymore, and so you go into overwhelm. And once you're in overwhelm, you can't make the right decisions anymore, right? So like, decisions become incredibly hard, and procrastination comes in and all the rest. So I'm going to suggest that you make lists. So just get a little notebook and start making lists. Now you could think, well, that's just another job that Grada tells me to do. But lists are good because you can see lists as a brain dump. Just dump it out of your brain, and you can make a list of to-dos for work, to-dos with your pets, or things, just so you have clarity, and then you don't have to take up, it doesn't have to take up your mind space anymore. So that's really important. So that's part of you getting organized, because in reality, the people that are more successful, like seen as more successful, so I should say the people who have genuine success, so they've got their life together and they're healthy and they have good relationships and all the rest, and part, their life, they are resilient and all the rest. Well, they actually spend 80% of their energy on themselves and 20% to all the rest. That's how it works, even if you have a business and all. So 80% is going into filling their own cup, right? And the average person does the exact opposite. Like, the average person might be lucky to have 5% left at the end of the day that goes towards filling their cup. So gradually you need to make that your aim, that you're going to get to a point in your life where you can spend pay attention to your own needs and priorities. And okay, so I'm skipping ahead. So getting organized, and one of my coaches many years ago, she suggested 3 words that you put on a blackboard, and she said speed, accuracy and support. And so just I've put it in my little blog as well. So capital letters, speed, accuracy and support, and every day you look at, okay, where am I not fast enough? Like, speed, get up to speed with something, do things faster, get it done. And then accuracy, do it accurately, so do it properly, so you don't have to do it 2 or 3 times. So don't rush and don't compromise on that either. And then support is of course super important, because support is literally wind under your wings. So look around you where you can enlist support, or do away with people or things in your life that are undermining you, which is the opposite to support, right? So then formulate a little plan and get started. So another coach that I really enjoyed, his sense of humor and so on. I worked with him for a couple of years, and he used to say, just get out of the suburbs. So meaning, he said, make a plan and then get moving. So get out of the suburbs. So lots of people don't get out of the suburbs, literally, metaphorically speaking, because they're too scared to make a mistake. So he said, just start driving, and then you eventually get onto a highway. Let's say you want to go to Melbourne, and suddenly you find that you're on the way to Brisbane though, but at least you're on the highway now. So the next turn that allows you to turn around, you turn around and now you're on your way to Melbourne. So metaphorically speaking, I'm going to say, get started, get out of the suburbs. The suburbs is where life is mediocre. And so lots of people do plan. Actually, there are people who never plan. So first of all, make a little plan that's going to work for you. And then you have other people on the other end of the spectrum who are always planning. They just plan, and they send you an email of your plans and another email, and then I'm going to do this and that. And then they actually don't, the action isn't there, so they need to get up to speed. And then there are people who actually plan and start, but they never finish. So, I mean, we have all those patterns going on inside our body. And I'd really like you to write down after the video today what your dominant pattern is. Like, are you a good starter? Are you a good continuer? There's really only 3 steps to the process, like maintaining speed. And are you a good finisher, or which one do you know is absolutely your biggest block and which one is your forte, right? So with Peter and me, we work really, really well together. So which leads me to point 4, get an accountability buddy. So, but I'll get back to that in a sec. Let's just go back to point 3. We work well together because I'm usually a good starter, so I'm the spark and I get the crazy idea or any idea, and then like have all this fire in me, so start a fire, and Pete gets it straight away. So we talk about it and then we start a project. And then often in the middle, like the continuing part, that's a different energy, right? That's not the same energy, starting energy. That's where I will fizzle out. And then Peter's forte, he's absolutely strong at this. He will just keep going. He maintains, he has systems, he shows up every day. He does the boring stuff that you have to do every day, like to keep a business going. That's absolutely his forte. He does it even without telling me. I know he's just rock solid. But Peter is sometimes not the best finisher, so I can be a good finisher. So this is how we complement each other. But so let's say Pete wrote a book as well a few years ago, and he wrote, he didn't send it away to the editor. It was just stuck on the computer, and I actually took the liberty to read it, and I thought, no, well, that's ready to go to the editor. So I sent it off to the editor, and the editor edited it, and then it got published. And maybe if I hadn't had taken the liberty to do that, maybe he wouldn't have published the book, and Pete's actually really happy with it. So we have this understanding that this is where we flow into each other and fill each other's gaps. But you just need to know, in the process of success, there is a starting point, continuing point, which is like, that can take take the best part of your life, by the way. But if it's a small project, this is where sometimes people don't want to put in the ground, and then you have to finish it as well. So how I know that Peter is not good at finishing, I'll just give you some little clues, by the way. We have quite a few computers, and Peter will sit in different places of the house with his laptop. So he has a laptop for this, he has a laptop for his health analysis clients, and a different laptop for business and finances and other things. I will find his laptops open, just so many random places. He never closes his laptop, he just doesn't do that. And then I just do it for him because I know, well, I don't know, to me it feels like it's symbolic of an energy leak, right? So, and if he works outside, or he's doing a job outside, he likes building and renovating, and I come pay him a visit or bring him a drink, he often has like all the doors of the car open and the windows down, and all day long. And so my natural instinct is then to come in, close the doors, wind up the windows. Actually, I don't want spiders or snakes in a car. But for me, it also feels, energetically speaking, that's how you lose energy. I like things to be finished. I like closure, that's it. It's just symbolic, like close the door, close the window, shut that up, it's finished. And so just look around in your house. What do you see? What's one of your tendencies? And then, of course, a classic, of course, is my kitchen, which Pete renovated 12 years ago. I have a beautiful, amazing, stunning kitchen. but there's just 2 little strips. This is so funny, by the way. Just in one corner of the kitchen, along the ceiling, there's this like gap, and things do come down there as well, like spiders and dust and stuff that goes along the ceiling and down. And I just thought of it the other day, that was probably what made me do the post today. It just doesn't get finished, and perhaps it never will, because there is a psychological process going on in the back of Pete's brain that if I finish it, there's a fear attached, right? I'm not 100% sure what that fear would be, and everyone is different, but fear could be like, well, now the project is finished. Now there could be fear of rejection. What if people don't like it? What if it's not good enough? Or in Peter's case, could be, well, what if I ran out of work? What if I ran out of jobs to do? Who am I then? Like, there can be a fear like that as well. Who am I if I stop doing jobs non-stop, right? So this takes like honesty, finding out the truth of who you are, so you can implement changes that makes the energy flow better. So when you have an accountability buddy, that can be somebody on Facebook, can be a person like me. I work with clients and keep them accountable in their projects. Can be your spouse or partner or sister or neighbor, somebody on Facebook, like I said, social media. An accountability buddy is somebody that kicks your bum when you're slackening off, and they go like, hey, no, you need to finish that today, or whatever, how you're going with that project, or have you gone for a walk today? Or they also boost your morale when you have dropped off the cart, right? We all drop off, and then we just have to get back on. The process of committing simply means the process of recommitting. People think, oh, now I've gone so far, of course, I'm never going to start that again. No, give yourself another chance, right? Because we're only human. I mean, we're not only human, we are amazing human beings. You deserve to get back on track and find the support, find that person that will help you. I just sort of a funny story of my kids, like my eldest son, who is 41 now, by the way, and he was super hyperactive as a little child and so fit, and like I couldn't keep up with him. He was a little monkey, didn't need to sleep much, and always full of energy, always running around. He didn't walk and climbing stuff. And so when he went to kindy and then they called athletics day, I thought, he's really going to shine, and he's going to win the race. Anyway, so he was running, and this was his very first race that he'd ever seen, because we didn't have television either, so he didn't even know what races were. And then like he got close to the finish line, and he was just looking around then, and he lost speed and he came last. Anyway, not that it matters, but it's just a funny story. Like, keep going, like don't stop before you've reached the finish line, because we often do that. We just don't think maybe we are worth it or something. Like, things need to be completed, right? So every day things need to be completed. So the speed, equity and support coaches, they said, finish off today what needs to be finished, then it's out of your mind. So as much as possible, like say, send that email, look at your messages, and this is also important in your relationships. So I know people who separated and they never got their divorce papers done properly, or even as simple as sorting out your legacy, like your inheritance, so your kids are not going to fight over it. I have so many clients who are stuck in trauma because the family is falling apart, because a person has died and left behind a mess, and now the kids are not talking to each other anymore because it's all unfair, the way it's divvied up and all the rest. You know it. So if there are things today that you need to do, like add them to your list and then tackle them, right? So ring up the solicitor, get your will done. Every sane person should just go ahead and do that. So what is your pattern, right? So like when you don't finish them, like you can finish a relationship, that's what I was talking about before, and then people go their separate ways, but they actually never complete that relationship. And there are unfinished things there, so whether it's filing your divorce papers, but it can be things that maybe that still need to be said, or that you need to say to yourself on paper, so you can write that down as well and get it off your chest. Or it can be a positive thing, like I mean to tell my friend how much her help meant to me at this point in time, or how beautiful she looked, or what a great mom she is. And then you put that on the back burner and you don't tell it. So in your relationships as well, it's really, really important that you close the doors. Like, don't be like a car with all the doors and windows open. Get that closure, forgive, release, and move on. And then fresh energy will flow into your life, right? Fresh energy will flow in when we complete things. Not when we leave everything open like a computer with like 100 programs running. If that was happening on your computer, you go and close all those programs. That's basically what I'm talking about. When you complete something, the universe will immediately send you fresh energy, which is usually a better energy that is like a higher frequency or a higher resonance, which builds your self-esteem. So in the long run, we're of course talking about self-esteem, how you can be more solid in yourself, have more confidence, show up in ways that you like to see yourself, how you can love yourself more. So how to get yourself out of overwhelm. The majority of people in today's society are absolutely living in overwhelm every single day for many, many years. And this is not how our creator, what the universe, I should say, planned for you. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. So there's those 6 steps. I've written them down. Get a piece of paper, spend some time by yourself. Start following some of these steps, and then when you've achieved one little goal, so it can just be a little one, or completed something, you start again. In this way you work through your life, and then you are going to get to a point where, you know, ideally you're going to spend 80% of your time feeding your own heart, up leveling you, spending time doing your inner work, you know, boosting your fitness. Your energy goes towards bettering you, and then you can be showing up like the mentor, the wise person, you can be the rock that the rest of the community can rely on, and that it flows out like that rather than the other way around, rather than doing more than 7 things, right? So don't pay attention to more than 7 different things in your life, and that is one big secret to success. So that also means simplifying your life, maybe finishing relationships that are not boosting you, that are not life-giving. You know, there might be some relationships in your life that are draining your life force, so they're not life-enhancing. So also be really honest about that. If that's the case, you need to finish those relationships and finish them properly. Lock the door behind you. If there are projects that need to be done, just if they're not important, you don't need to finish them if they don't, because sometimes we start a project and then life takes us somewhere else and our mind is still hooked into those old projects. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to finish them. Just go somewhere else where it's fresh, and I'm only talking, of course, if it's not an important project. Just let it go. So this is also, we have to learn to let go that as well. So these are some of the things that have helped me, especially in times of my life when I went through intense periods and I had to get really hyper-focused and super clear on what I needed to do and where my attention needed to go. And this is what's helped me to be where I am, leading a privileged life, right? And also making full recovery from the accident. So everyone can do this. and let me know what you think. And let me know, even I'm interested if you're a good finisher, are you a good starter, are you a good continuer, because that's also really important that you know that about yourself, right? And then you need to find help in those areas where you need help, so you can be propped up, so you can, and if you do it once and you go through that full cycle, you know you can do it again and again and again, and that makes you feel really good about yourself. Anyway, everyone, thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to being with you again next Tuesday. Have a really great week, everyone. See you next time. Big love from me. Bye.